The people are angry. 9 weeks ago, we had an election in this country, but because 2 states refused to certify, neither Conway nor myself received the 270 electoral votes required for victory. So they gather here every morning to exercise their magnificent right, guaranteed by the First Amendment, to let their angry voices be heard.
And so, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and half of January have come and gone, and all 3 branches of government are in crisis. The Congress is in disarray, the Supreme Court is down to justice and doomed to deadlock, and the executive branch is without a boss. You see, my feeling is, I think the Founding Fathers, they just got tired. And really, can you blame them? I mean, you can't think of everything. Black swans, Murphy's Law. I mean, at a certain point, you just have to sign off and cross your goddamn fingers and hope for the best. Or adopt flippism, a pseudo-philosophy of life in which the most important decisions are made by the flipping of a coin. It was first introduced in the Disney comic book Flip Decision, one of my favorites, in which Donald Duck is persuaded by Professor Batty to make all the most important decisions based on the flipping of a coin. Life is but a gamble. Let flippism guide your ramble. We've had this sort of trouble before. The election of 1800, Jefferson versus Burr. They wound up in a tie, 73 electoral votes each. That was the number required then. And that's when Congress tried to address what the Founding Fathers just couldn't imagine. And poof, the 12th Amendment was born. And it says that if the states don't certify, it's the House that chooses the president and the Senate that chooses the vice president. Now, the House is a bit of a mess, but the Senate is rather democratic in how they choose the VP. 1 person, 1 vote. But if there's a tie, and this is where Donald Duck comes in, it's resolved by the toss of a coin. A solution that's elegant as hell, but then there's no elegance in modern politics. It's mostly hell. The identity of the next president of these United States is once again in the hands of a bunch of self-serving, money-hungry, boot-licking, power-seeking politicians who can be seduced or sucker-punched or blackmailed into submission. And all I need is just 1 more vote than the other guy. As you can see, the Founding Fathers didn't plan for this. But I did. Meet your new daddy.
You can feel it, right? It's like you're there. Doesn't it look just like it? To me, it is that place. okay, man?
Yeah, of course.
It really helps. Very effective.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help you find more funding for it.
If you're feeling a little worked up,
What? A little worked up? I was elected president of the United States over 2 months ago, but somehow Congress is now deciding the election, so forgive me for being a little worked up.
I don't think Tony was implying anything.
Of course. Good.
I'm gonna get myself ready. I don't want to go to the event looking like this.
Right.
Thanks, Tony.
Romero's chief of staff insists he's not in town.
And do you believe her?
No, but she's been in D.C. longer than he has. At some point, she'll take care of herself.
Well, did you tell her I have no interest in discussing the Declaration of War Committee with him?
I expressed our desire for a civil and productive meeting with the congressman.
Well, find him. If he wants to hide from me, he can do it to my face.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Doug, how many protesters are out there today?
More than yesterday. But they're doing their best to divert him away from the White House.
I don't know what's worse, the sound of their chanting or the sound of silence when they're not.
I'll get to work, sir.
Good morning, Augustus.
Oh, Eric, I'm sorry. They told me to sit. But,
Oh, no. It's perfectly fine. I can't imagine anyone else who would, well, enjoy this more than you. You know, I only started it after you and I met in Spotsylvania.
the attention to detail is just...
It is, yes.
I've got... I mean, I'm sorry, I'm a little overwhelmed by the moment. It's just... I have this feeling as if, like... I mean, I've imagined this somehow. I know that sounds, You've got the button on his haversack.
Yes. I think people underestimate the importance of detail to the overall impact.
Yeah. The bloody angle experts would be very impressed.
When we met in Spotsylvania, how did you know so many specific things about Augustus? About Augustus Underwood's death. I mean, the very spot where he died, the fact that his skull had been crushed with a rock, that they buried him in an unmarked grave. I mean, the detail of all that.
Hope you'll forgive me.
For?
I was meeting Vice President Francis Underwood. I thought he deserved a good story.
Wait a minute. You made all that up?
What? I took some liberties. but I don't know, once it started, it came to me so clearly.
It's Eric, yeah?
Yes, sir. Crowd?
Yes. I'm sorry, what were you about to say?
I don't mean to overstep, sir. With the people out there. I don't care what they're saying. And the way I see it, a person's destiny is, sealed.
We are in uncharted territory.
All right, but Donnie, do me a favor, okay? Let the
Can I finish?
Hold on, just let the Constitution do its job.
Joe, I'm going to finish for once. You've got voters filing individual suits,
Right.
Tennessee and Ohio, and they are jammed up in the Supreme Court.
Like everything else, the day-to-day workings of this country are on hold.
Okay, they may be on hold, but guess what? Last time I checked, everybody was still getting their Social Security checks.
Yeah, but if the debt limit is reached?
Now, come on, let me finish now. Again, it's why we have a Constitution. I know it looks messy. Democracy's messy. But guess what? There is a method to that madness.
I don't know, Joe. It's more madness than method right now. I mean, if the government does shut down those Social Security checks, they might not go out.
If the government shuts down, who knows if Congress can even pick a president? Each state in the House just gets one vote. So if smaller states like Delaware and Rhode Island can't reach a consensus...
Right.
No, it's true. I mean, if one or two of these really stubborn members of Congress decides they're going to hold this up, it could be months.
Look, that's what I'm saying. The road to 26 votes is not an easy one.
All right. Strange days indeed, Mika.
So are these the start to short stories?
Mm-hmm. They're nothing yet. Fragments. Pieces.
I mean, clearly this is about me. This is my mother. And this is us. You can't write.
I'm writing. It's what I do. I'm a writer.
I know you're frustrated, Tom.
I wouldn't say frustrated.
Well, it's invasive. Write about your own experiences.
This is my experience.
Listen, Tom, just because we've decided Francis and I need to stay here doesn't mean you have to. So if you have things you need to do, you should go ahead and do them. I'll be spending my day convincing the Senate to vote for me, so there's no speeches necessary.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I do have some things to do. Some people I need to check in with, so...
Tom.
Yeah?
Yes?
Are you ready, Mrs. Underwood?
I'll have a car waiting for you.
So, do you want the good news or the bad news first?
Always the bad.
The president's approvals are down to 19%.
And the good?
They're worse for Congress, and you're at 30.
Well, thankfully, it's Congress we have to convince now, not the public.
These are the remaining senators we'll target before the vote, all women, by the way. The biggest challenges will be Indiana's freshman senator, Susan Newman.
The constitutional lawyer.
And Hawaii's Carrie Quilima, who seems to be enjoying getting to wield a little power for once. I need to tell you, there is a lot of pushback on the Hill about the simultaneous vote for president and VP. The country is terrified it'll lead to a split ticket. There's threats of a filibuster.
Well, the Dems won the Senate, and they want to vote when the House does. That decision's been made. And the vice president won't allow a filibuster of any kind onto the floor.
Ma'am, have you contemplated how it could possibly work, you as vice president to President Conway?
That's not going to happen.
Of course.
I did learn one true thing about Augustus Underwood.
What?
He was dead. Cold. We put him on a cart. Bunch of dead bodies to bury. And after a full day and night, he woke up.
What?
Well, someone stole his shoes and the buttons off his uniform, but he lived. A few days later, he got up to his regiment.
Really? I have to get back to the madness.
I hope I get to see you again, Mr. President.
Eric, what do you do when you're not reenacting
I'm an actor. Sometimes, I do a lot more if someone would let me. So right now, I'm mostly a personal trainer.
A personal trainer?
Yeah. You know where to find me. And sir, no matter how dire things look, you're gonna come out of this alive. You're in Underwood, after all.
No, don't Chief of Staff me, Eleanor. No, don't give me his schedule. I don't want to hear about how Congressman Romero is meeting with his constituents or stuck on an Acela train. You know, it's Fazio, right? The pronunciation? Eleanor Fazio? I just want to be sure. Because when the president wins, and he is going to win, I will remember your name.
I still need you to review this release. Now, obviously, the goal is to combat the hiding out narrative, emphasizing the work that they're doing. Is it a personal matter?
Business. It's always business. I'll email you my sign-off.
Wait a second. I need an update on their schedule for tomorrow.
We're almost there.
I want to know how you found out.
If he needs help, that can happen after he makes it to the White House.
Mark, you're not answering my question.
If word of treatment, any kind of treatment...
His friend was showing him the therapy, that's
Please
it.
don't insult me.
Who do you think you are? Inserting yourself into every aspect of our lives.
Your husband's campaign needed help. Help arrived.
Yes, but...
Help that you, most of all, pushed for. Yes?
Who told you about the VR?
He did.
Let's go. What's going on?
I was just telling Mark how much I miss having Marshall around.
Well, he's still around. Where are you going?
I forgot my bag.
It's right here.
Hello? Yeah. Yes, sir. He's right here. It's him.
Congressman.
You have no idea how bad this could go.
We don't want to be late.
Well, I couldn't agree more.
She might have gone to Santa Fe. You don't believe me, do you?
I would need to see something, Lisa, something concrete.
I have a photo. I have one.
Look at me. You're not the first person to come here making false claims about Underwood and his cronies.
But I'm telling you the truth.
Everything you're saying to me, you could have read in the paper.
That's how I realized who he was, his picture in the paper.
Which makes your story harder to prove. We're talking in circles.
What about Doug Stamper driving me home when my car broke down, telling me his name was Peter and that he sold insurance?
No one can corroborate that story.
Rachel! Rachel could.
You should finish that.
I'm not hungry. Maybe I am, I don't know.
I want to thank you for reaching out. I am not saying I don't believe you, but there's already enough evidence out there to take the president down. And now with this election, he'll be accountable for even more. I'm certain of it.
I don't care. I don't care about Underwood. I want you to talk to Doug Stamper. I want you to find out what happened to my... Whatever, forget it.
Hold on.
Thanks for the sandwich.
All right, hold on.
There's this story that I love about LBJ. It was back in 64, 65. Congressman was ducking him. And he came back to his office to find the president sitting in his chair, waiting for him.
The president expects to see you within the hour. Miss Fazio can give you the specifics. He was wearing his cowboy hat.
What?
President Johnson, you left out the best part of the story.
We closed the place down last night. Thanks for the invite.
A bunch of us are headed back to the same spot tonight if you want to come.
Cool. He has a late lunch today. Won't be back till 4.
Oh, I just needed to drop this form.
Sure. Next time, just ask.
See you tonight.
You gambled and you lost.
Actually, my block gained seats more than 8 weeks ago, which I suspect is why I'm here.
Don't overestimate your position or underestimate mine.
You still haven't been elected president, sir.
Yeah, but the presidency won't matter once the party turns its back on you, will it? When Bob Birch puts all the rest of your sheep in line, you'll be begging to come in from the cold. And 2 years from now, you'll be back in Phoenix, replaying this very moment over and over again in your mind and realizing it was the beginning of the end. Patricia Whitaker and the Democratic Party will wipe their hands of you.
I'm loyal to the party.
As you should be. As you should say. But really, what's your leverage? The committee? That's done. You see, you've already put out Alex, and Will Conway is not taking you to the prom.
My conversations with the governor in any position that I may or may not have been offered.
Oh, listen to yourself. Do you even believe you?
You are awfully confident for someone who's already lost the election once.
Do me a favor, forget the presidency for just a moment. You don't have the capital to build on the congressional revolution that you've started, politically or otherwise.
Our movement wants to explode things.
Oh, please
not
spare me your progressive PR bullshit. You want what they all want. Access. A better seat at the table. Your name before the rest. And that is something that I can give you.
And how many votes do you want in exchange?
Just 3 from your ever-growing bloc would assure me the win in key delegations.
Specifically?
Maine, Wisconsin, and New Hampshire are still in play.
All 3.
I believe in you, Congressman. Do you want to know why?
Tell me.
Because I trust ambition.
So this is a straight-up bribe?
Oh, no, Congressman. A bribe is something you can refuse. Now, since you haven't been around the block as many times as I have, let me walk you through how this works.
No, excuse me, Mr. President, but I do know how this is done.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
I'll start with Maine. She owes me. You know, we did meet once before, Mr. President. At a dinner during the 2012 convention. I tried to introduce myself to you.
And?
You don't remember, do you?
Why would I?
Why is the moderator so interested in Brockhart's opinion? Has everyone suddenly forgotten that I'm at the top of the ticket?
No, of course not.
Are we done here?
Yeah, we should talk about tomorrow's schedule. Vote's looking good. We still need to talk to as many congressmen as we can.
You figure it out and give us a call. And enough with the events targeting the armed services. We got as many Congress people as we could get out of this. No offense, General, but we need to divide and conquer, okay?
Well, I was speaking with Mark.
Yeah.
And I want you to know, if you need to talk about anything, I'm available.
The only support I need, General, is that of a vice president to his president, okay?
Senator Talbert's priorities are affordable housing and closing corporate tax loopholes.
And access to higher education, especially. The call is in 10.
Why did Aiden McCallan run away?
What?
Why did McCallan run away?
I wish I could tell you.
Clock's ticking. Yes, give me Tom Yates' driver's number, please.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. New York.
You drove all the way to New York? Where? Who's he with?
I don't know. A woman. Older. I don't know how that'll work, ma'am. Yes. Yes, I'll try.
Now, I understand your concern, Senator. Well, student loan reform is a priority for you, so it will be a priority for the president and me. Yes, yes, I do. Well, Louise, you as a pillar of the party, it will be much appreciated if I can get your help tomorrow. And it'll just be you and me and a couple of your female colleagues in the Senate. Okay, well, I look forward to a productive dialogue.
Better late than never.
Sorry I missed dinner. Why the back?
I'm pretending you're an Uber. Just help me out. My sister-in-law. She came when you couldn't. Do you think the dead judge us?
No. What did he do that you like the most? Here. In bed.
Sitting up was the best. Legs around each other. He'd run his right hand up the back of my neck into my hair and pull it. My hair and my head back. And with the other hand, he'd pull me in and out. Always looking at me. Seeing me.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
It's so nice in here. You can hardly hear them.
Oh, trust me, I can hear them.
It was New Hampshire, it's what?
24, with May 25.
26 if we get Wisconsin.
Where's Tom?
He needed to get some air.
Wisconsin's being stubborn.
Then who else?
Iowa, maybe Colorado, 24-25.
How was your great-great-great-grandfather, Augustus?
He goes by Eric.
Eric.
He admired my craftsmanship.
We should make a play for North Dakota.
Agreed. In the Senate, I think you can swing some votes from Missouri. Did you ask Leanne about McAllen?
She didn't know anything. I believe her.
We have to quit again.
Otherwise, they'll kill us.
No McAllen. He was there, though. Left his belongings.
Anything from the National Police?
No. CIA's man in the palace isn't even sure he's still in Jakarta. They'll find him, Leanne. That's all I can give you.
I appreciate your help.
Carrie, Susan, what can I get you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm good with water.
What about you, Louise?
What are you having?
Splash of vodka on ice.
Make it two.
Susan and I were talking on the way over, Claire. This election mess has left us all facing some scary possibilities.
Conway wins in the House, which is far from inevitable.
But if a split ticket were to happen, it would be bad for this country.
No, Conway is what would be bad for this country. Let's hope the House does the right thing. But as far as the Senate, I am very grateful that we have Donald Blythe steering that ship.
Mrs. Underwood, I'm sorry to say this, but no matter what you're offering here, I can't support the president. And by extension, I can't support you.
It's not you, Claire. It's him. Susan and I are on the same page about this.
What if this isn't about Frances Underwood, huh? It's Claire Underwood who has the promising future. I want a woman in the White House. And if she has to start as a vice president, fine, but it's time. It's time.
Well, I hear that, Louise, but I'll say it. A vote for you is a vote for Frank Underwood.
Listen, I understand your concerns about Frances's record. I do. If Conway wins, wouldn't you want a Democrat to keep him in check? And what if a vote for me isn't necessarily a vote for Frances?
21 promised for you, sir. 23 for Conway. 2 deadlocked, 4 unknown. But I think things will shift once they caucus.
All right, let's bring him in.
Yes, sir.
Have a seat.
I won't be long.
Well, then stand like a man who doesn't know whether to sit or not. Congressman Romero, do you have good news for me? Have your progressives seen the light?
I did what I could, Mr. President. I couldn't sway the bloc.
Couldn't? Or wouldn't?
Maine and New Hampshire are non-committal. Congressman Walcott is turning Wisconsin for Conway.
Tell me a different truth.
They aren't listening to me. They believe supporting you would do more damage to the Democratic Party and the country than a Conway presidency.
Well, I am sorry that it has come to this.
As am I. I'm sure we'll meet again, sir.
Yes, but before you go, just take a look around this room. Study every detail, every aspect. Because this is the last time you will ever step foot in here.
I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help.
And to think you could have made yourself memorable in so many other ways.
I'll make sure he never sees another committee, sir.
Oh, no, he wants us to put up a fight. Make him feel bigger. He's just read some polls and thinks I'm in trouble. That's why he's coming after me. All right, we have 48 hours. I have to work Colorado and shore up Tennessee. But Maine, Wisconsin, and New Hampshire must be turned by any means necessary.
All caucusing will end by noon on Thursday, and then the vote in both the House and the Senate is scheduled for 2. But I don't make the decisions, Chuck. I just relay them. No. No, there will not be a statement at this time, because there's nothing to state until after the vote. Right. Yes. Yes. Please don't make me say yes again. Crazy days in these United States. So you want to tell me what was so important I had to get you through the gates?
Girl named Lisa Williams came in. Says she was Rachel Posner's girlfriend. Said Doug Stamper knew Rachel. Feels like maybe he was involved in her disappearance.
And she said the words Doug Stamper.
Rachel Posner went missing around the time Stamper was carjacked and had his head bashed in. And this Lisa thinks, well, she's not sure exactly.
Can she prove a connection?
It's all instinct at this point.
Oh, come on. You want a tour of the White House? You could just straight up ask me for one.
Hammerschmidt.
Does he make anything of it?
Not yet. But the information about her is on the top of his desk.
Lisa Williams.
Mr. Grayson, you have a call on line 3.
Well, I gotta get back to it. If Tom follows up on her, let me know.
Thanks for the pass.
It's temporary.
Leanne Harvey.
Always burning the midnight oil.
Aiden?
You ready to join me?
Do you have any idea how much jeopardy you have put me in?
You should have gotten out when you had the chance.
You think you're out?
Listen, I need you to do me a favor.
Where are you?
Get the FBI, CIA, and whoever else is looking for me to stop. Now.
Okay, you know, just come back here and we will figure this out together.
If they keep coming after me, I will start leaking things about the Underwoods.
You don't want to do that?
You have no idea who you're working for, Leanne.
God damn it.
You have an update for the president?
I've been juggling senators most of the day.
And your congressman from Maine?
Is still my friend's father and is still too busy to meet.
So is Wisconsin or New Hampshire until I force them to.
You have your style, I have mine.
The president doesn't care about style, Leanne. Just get the congressman by the vote on Thursday.
Will just walked in. Yeah. Okay. Talk soon. Bye.
Your mom?
Yeah. She sends her best.
Yeah, okay.
Where's Charlie?
In the living room.
Lily's playing in the den.
Where are you going?
I should change.
You keep walking away from me, Hannah.
Please.
Why would you invite him here? Now.
He's a friend. He's your friend, and I thought maybe it'd be something you'd be interested in looking at. I'm doing all I can.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
Like, doubt me? Like, think that you know better what's in my mind than I do?
No, you're the one who told Mark.
I had to deny I had anything to do with it. See, these people, Hannah, Usher and Marshall, they're hired hands. They can't be trusted. And Brockhart, he's in it for himself, but you, my darling, my love.
Stop it!
Stop what? What are you gonna do? Take the kids and go to your mom? As if you would. You already picked out the White House china.
You want this more than anything. To be president. Don't you dare judge me now that I want it too.
Yes, Congressman, but flights are considered bribes. Yes, Congressman, it's not your DUIs that concern us. It's your daughter's. Well, you should have done a better job hiding the payouts. I mean, really. Yes, I'm sure you are. But how old was he again? Yes, and he was in the choir, is that right? But you can never erase an email. Even my dead aunt knows that. Well, get back to me as soon as you can. So?
Maine finally looks solid, sir. New Hampshire doesn't, though.
I've been sitting in here for hours, busting my ass getting some results. We should have secured New Hampshire. How did Leanne get Maine?
She cashed in a favor.
Well, why couldn't you do the same goddamn thing?
It doesn't make sense. I thought I had him. I mean, and it's not just New Hampshire. Wisconsin should have folded.
Should have? What's going on, Doug? What's happening? Is there some issue with your commitment? Your loyalty?
What?
Perhaps you just aren't worthy of my trust.
I have given everything to you. Almost the entirety of my professional life, Frank.
You watch your tone.
The things I've done. The things that I have done to help keep you here, and you're gonna question my loyalty?
Well, if we can't win, we have to make sure that Conway doesn't either. Maine coming over only means he won't get to 26. A deadlock isn't a win, but at least... I'm sorry, Doug, I was out of line.
Let's get back to work.
It's not just what he did with all the data. Aiden had access to everything. We need to get the CIA and FBI off his trail, and I need your help.
You're causing problems, Leanne, which is the last thing that we can afford right now. McCowan sealed his own fate.
I delivered Maine, Doug, which is more than you can say about New Hampshire. I'll owe you.
Not enough.
Has the president spoken to you about Aiden at all?
No.
Is he on a kill list?
The United States of America doesn't have kill lists, Leanne.
I am the only thing preventing Mac from releasing what he has, and my guess is whatever it is, it'll implicate you too. Am I wrong, Doug? Someone close to Senator Mitchell woke me up with the news.
Get me the vice president on the phone.
That is not going to happen.
Well, how you intend on dealing with it?
Donald. Don't do it.
Claire.
I know what you and Senator Mitchell were planning. Do what you were supposed to do. Move the anti-filibuster measure forward so the Senate can vote and elect me vice president.
No.
No?
All voices should be heard out of respect for the American people and the gravity of the vote before the Senate today, the first like this since 1825.
The House is about to vote, Donald. What is going on? Let's get this done so you can go home.
It looks like Conway's going to win, and no matter what people have told you, the Senate is voting for Brockhart. It's country over party, Claire.
Are you flexing?
I'm stalling until the House vote happens and then the Senate votes accordingly.
You'd do that to the party to which you've devoted your entire career?
The country needs clarity and resolution. That's the most important thing. There'll be another election in 4 years. But look, I saw you when Francis was in the coma, what you're capable of when given the opportunity. You still have a shot down the road. I'd vote for you.
Whatever you think, I know I have the numbers.
I don't think so. But come on. You're not like him. Be patient.
You're a fool, Donald. You always were. You and your dumb, dead wife that you never, ever shut up about. Principled? Idealistic? a champion for the people. What did you ever actually do? Nothing. The great crusader? I don't think so. You just liked the position of the bumbling idiot that you are. The optimist, the idealist. You loved it so much that you couldn't even make a deal or move a single thing forward. You have a legacy of nothing. Sign the measure, get the Republicans off the floor, start the vote now.
You know what I just realized? Your initials. They're missing an N and a T.
The vote is inconclusive, Mr. President. Neither you nor Conway to 26.
Still alive. What about Claire?
I mean, this is impossible.
I'm as surprised as you are. Maine. There was no heads up on that. Look, I know this is frustrating. It should be over.
I'm president. I don't care what they say. I'm fucking president of the United States.
No, you're not. The vice president will be acting president for as long as it takes the House to decide. I should make some calls.